In the heart of a relentless rushing city, a storm was brewing, not just in the sky, but for a struggling tech startup. Its young founders, Mark and Sarah, were facing their worst nightmare, the precipice of financial ruin, as dark clouds mirrored their looming crisis. Every tick of the clock echoed the mounting pressure. Mark ran a hand through his hair, while Sarah stared blankly at a spreadsheet, their faces etched with the strain of countless sleepless nights. The deadline for their crucial next funding round loomed ominously. The startup office buzzed with a desperate, chaotic environment. Documents lay scattered across desks, developers whispered anxiously, and the air itself felt heavy with impending failure. They were out of options, on the very verge of bankruptcy, desperate for a miracle. As Mark and Sarah battled their impending doom, a different world unfolded. A 90-year-old man, Arthur, stepped off a train at an old Grand Station. The city was just awakening, bathed in a calm sunrise, utterly oblivious to the storm brewing at the tech startup. His demeanor exuded a quiet, unwavering resolve. Soon after, Arthur was chauffeured through historic streets in a meticulously maintained classic car. The vehicle glided past structures of ancient architecture, a stark contrast to the sleek, modern glass buildings dotting the city's tech hub. His journey felt like a step back in time, deliberate and unhurried. Before heading into the frantic startup, Arthur paused. He found a small, quiet garden, a hidden oasis amidst the urban sprawl, taking a moment to breathe. Dressed in a pristine suit, he was a picture of timeless elegance, a stark, tranquil counterpoint to the impending chaos. Arthur stepped into the frantic office, a beacon of calm amidst the startup's busy hive. Mark and Sarah, barely glancing up, quickly assigned him the truly unglamorous task of digitizing old invoices. The young team exchanged knowing smirks, dismissing the nonagenarian in his classic suit as an eccentricity. Arthur, unperturbed, simply nodded. While the office buzzed with urgent calls and frantic coding, Arthur worked with the quiet grace of still water, steadily tackling the mountain of data entry. His composed demeanor was a stark contrast to the surrounding chaos. What seemed like menial labor became his stage for observation, unnoticed by the stressed-out founders. From his small, unobtrusive desk, Arthur maintained a focused gaze, not on the dusty papers, but on the hurried interactions and stressed expressions of the team. He absorbed every detail with the silent intensity of a quiet library, compiling a mental archive. It was almost as if a hidden camera perspective captured his astute observations. Arthur, though still compiling data, observes how the startup's frantic pace only masks deeper issues. He sees the cracks in the desert where vital communication is dry and neglected. The team operates in silos, unaware of the broader strategy, much like a neglected garden where no one tends to the overall health. He discerns that despite their individual brilliance, the team's efforts are like tangled roots, hindering collective growth instead of supporting it. Each department operates as an isolated peak, disconnected and unaware of the other's struggles. This fragmentation creates constant friction, starving the company of essential synergy. Arthur soon identifies the most critical flaw, a broken bridge between the founder's ambitious vision and the team's daily execution. Mark and Sarah possess passion, but the vital connection for clear direction is fractured. Employees feel adrift, leading to wasted effort and growing disillusionment, threatening the startup's very foundation. The startup's fragile systems, already strained by disorganization, began to unravel. What Arthur had observed as mere inefficiencies quickly escalated into tangled wires, creating a complex web of unresolved issues. The founders' frantic attempts to keep pace only added to the mounting pressure. Then, a critical bug in their core software manifested like a sudden lightning strike, paralyzing key functionalities. It felt like the very foundation of their product was a collapsing building around them. Panic spread through the office as deadlines loomed, threatening crucial client relationships. This system failure wasn't isolated. It triggered a cascading effect, a tsunami wave of problems that threatened to engulf the entire company. Like a wildfire, rumors of impending bankruptcy spread, leaving Mark and Sarah feeling completely overwhelmed. Arthur, however, remained calm, sensing the exact moment to act. Amidst the frantic panic, Arthur moved like the still eye of the storm, calmly approaching Mark and Sarah. They were drowning in spreadsheets, overwhelmed by crashing servers and desperate calls. Without a hint of urgency, Arthur simply asked, "Have you considered the root cause of the fear, not just the symptoms?" His quiet voice cut through the clamor. He then drew them away from the immediate chaos, metaphorically leading them into a deep forest of thought, much like a wise owl sharing ancient wisdom. Arthur suggested they step back, focus on people, not just numbers. He proposed a simple exercise to reconnect with their initial vision and the team's strengths rather than dwelling on the looming disaster. Initially bewildered, Mark and Sarah slowly absorbed his steady hand, realizing this intern offered more than menial help. Arthur's calm conviction began to act as a guiding light, subtly shifting the atmosphere. He encouraged them to communicate openly with their remaining staff, fostering trust over fear, a vital first step in navigating their impending investor meeting. Mark and Sarah, guided by Arthur's subtle mentorship, began re-evaluating their strategies. He was a patient teacher, showing them how to nurture their team like a growing plant. They started prioritizing open communication, transforming the tense atmosphere into one of collaborative learning, slowly rebuilding trust. Under Arthur's influence, transparency became key. Information flowed like a clear stream through the office, and Mark and Sarah led with an open book policy, sharing challenges and progress. This new honesty fostered a sense of shared purpose, uniting everyone towards a common, hopeful future for the company. With their team now walking a shared path, a renewed sense of purpose fueled their preparations for the investor meeting. Arthur's quiet presence continued to anchor them, his subtle cues refining their presentation. They were no longer just chasing funding, but presenting a unified vision for growth and innovation. A new energy now permeated the startup office, a palpable calm replacing the previous frantic pace. As if a dawn was breaking, collaborative discussions flourished, and faces showed a blossoming sense of purpose. The team was rebuilding their internal bridge, one transparent conversation at a time, ready for what lay ahead. Mark and Sarah, no longer consumed by individual stress, moved with newfound clarity. Their interactions were now a calm ocean, reflecting mutual respect and shared vision as they finalized the investor presentation. Arthur's wisdom had truly helped them mend their fractured leadership, preparing them for this pivotal moment. Arthur watched from a quiet corner, a faint smile gracing his lips as the team worked in unified formation. Every member was aligned, their individual strengths now harmonizing like birds flying together towards a common goal. The chaotic startup had finally found its rhythm, poised on the brink of a new era. Mark and Sarah, impeccably dressed, stepped into the towering investor building, their footsteps echoing softly on the pristine, polished marble floors. Calm was their nervous anxiety, replaced by a quiet, collective confidence from Arthur's mentorship. Arthur himself followed close behind, his own calm, confident stride radiating a steady assurance. The presentation unfolded flawlessly. Mark and Sarah articulated their vision with genuine passion and newfound clarity. They spoke of human connection, not just technology, resonating deeply with Arthur's lessons. From the back of the room, Arthur offered a subtle, knowing glance, a silent affirmation of their profound growth and readiness. When a particularly sharp question from an investor threatened to falter their progress, Arthur rose. With an air of ancient wisdom, he eloquently reframed the challenge, offering a perspective only decades of experience could provide. His powerful presence shifted the room's dynamic, solidifying trust and steering the conversation back into their favor. The investor's decision was swift and overwhelmingly positive. The startup secured crucial funding. Mark and Sarah stood amidst their now bustling office, the frantic energy replaced by focused productivity, bathed in the warm glow of success. Arthur watched, a faint smile playing on his lips, as if seeing a beautiful sunset glow after a long day. Their future was finally bright. Months later, the startup thrived, a soaring eagle in the tech world. Mark and Sarah, confident leaders now, often recalled Arthur's profound advice, his words like roots from an ancient tree. They'd overheard investors mentioning a legendary CEO named A. Theron and put the pieces together, realizing the depth of Arthur's mentorship. His legacy was already embedded. One quiet morning, Arthur was simply gone, leaving only a handwritten note and a profound sense of calm. He had guided them like a steady star through the storm, leaving the company a calm lake of innovation. Mark and Sarah, forever changed, realized his timeless wisdom was their most valuable asset, a permanent guiding star for their venture.